And then I touched upon, your sphere of influence. Now, in this uncertain world, especially because we have so much real time news and information, whether it's real or fake, who knows? There's so much bombardment from outside that it becomes more important than ever to determine what is in your control, what is within your sphere of influence. And the reason this is important is because imagine this anxious voice inside you that is trying to prepare you for the vast, unfathomable unknown, where there's all kinds of curveballs and unforeseeable things and stuff that's happening that you could not have predicted. I mean, how many times are people using the word unprecedented? Like it's unprecedented weather, unprecedented this, that, and the other. Well, yes. And I think in that it can feel like your sphere of influence is becoming smaller and smaller. But however small it feels, I would invite you to become more cognizant of what's in there, because that's going to be key to you keeping your sanity and not going completely bonkers from all the stuff that's happening in the world that you have zero control over. Okay, so now we're finally getting to the really meaty bit of what you need to do to replace your anxiety with awareness. And there's going to be 7 steps. So step 1 is I'm going to invite you to make a list of all your fears and worries. They don't have to be just about money, they can be anything at all. Make a list of them. Step 2 is to look closely at each of those things you've written down and label it IMC, which means in my control. If you think whatever that thing is you're afraid of is something you can do something about, okay? So, for example, something that is definitely not in your control would be peace in the Middle East. So if peace in the Middle East is something that you're terribly anxious about, well, unless you happen to be in that sort of convoy of people who go and help negotiate peace, it's not in your control. So it will not get an IMC label next to it, okay? Step 3 is anything that did not have the label IMC next to it, just cross it out because it's not relevant to your list, because there's nothing you can do about it. And what is the point spending a lot of your energy being anxious? However, those things are still on your list. All you've done is you've crossed them out because you have a limited amount of time and energy that you want to focus to create the kind of life you want. So if you choose to make something your problem when actually it isn't, then that means you're spreading yourself a little bit thinner, where you could have focused your attention on things that you have more influence over. However, if you felt that, okay, it's not in my sphere of influence right now, but I want to grow my sphere of influence so that it does become something I can influence, then of course that is completely your choice. And that's why these lists are very personal to you. But this is just simply an exercise to make it more manageable. So the next step is that look at those items on your list. And if you think that that thing is important to you, and when I say you, I don't mean just you personally, because it could be that it's important to your family, it's important to, your colleagues, whatever, you know what I mean. Your sphere of influence includes the people you care about, the people who rely on you, the people whose, well-being matters to you. So if that thing is important to that sphere of influence, then mark it with an IMP. If not, leave it blank. Next one is to label urgent against that same list where you've marked important for the things that are important. Urgent, that is, let's say you have a bill to pay. This is a final demand, and if you don't pay by a certain day, then dire consequences. Now maybe that's urgent. So then you put urgent, and also then become mindful of how much time you have before you can deal with that particular source of anxiety. Okay, so that was the 5 steps. And then The last step is you're going to look at this list now, which hopefully is a little bit shorter. And you've got the labels important, urgent. Some of the items will be important and urgent, in which case they kind of go up, if you're going to rank them in order of sort of priority and things that you actually want to focus your attention on to replace them with some greater awareness and an action plan, then those will go on the top of your list because you want to deal with them first. And so you can then rank it in any order that feels right for you. Okay, so we've done these 6 steps, and at the end of it, it is my hope that you have a list that is a little bit more manageable. It is really prioritized based on what you need and want, and what is a good focused use of your time and energy. And then you go to the 7th step and you look at these items and you assess what you need to do and what plan you need to create so that you can then replace that source of anxiety with either greater awareness in terms of like, this is what I need to do, and an action plan that means that you then no longer have to be anxious about it. So I'll give you an example. Let's say that in your list towards the fact that you maybe what you're earning at the moment is not enough, that you need to be in a job that pays you, say, 20% more for you to live comfortably. So instead of worrying about the fact that, oh gosh, I'm not earning enough, I need to do something, now you've realized, okay, this is really important to me, because unless I can do this, I'm going to continue to worry about it. I'm going to, keep having to sort of limit my lifestyle in ways that I don't feel is good for me. And then you think, okay, so what do I need to do? And then the plan might be that, okay, I need to start, either I need to go to my boss and I need to show them just how good I am at what I do and how, I'm really totally worth an extra 20% pay rise. Or it could be that, oh, I don't see myself going anywhere in this company, so it's time for me to look for another job. Either way, you have made a decision to take that next step. Whatever that step might be is going to be very personal to you. And when you choose to do that, again, is going to be up to you. Okay, so this is a 7-step process that helps you distill the things that are causing you anxiety for you to, again, if you imagine, anxiety, and sometimes, when we have anxiety cropping up, we hear a voice. That could be the voice of our parent, or it could be voice of somebody who's dear to us, who is always telling us, oh, be careful, be careful. And so it's like saying to that person, don't worry, I've got this. I'm a grown up now. I can deal with this. And then that voice feels, okay, she's finally listened to me, or he's listening, taking account of what I'm saying. And so I don't need to worry so much. Okay. So these are the 7 steps. Now, this final bit is just me sort of giving you a little taste of where I could potentially help you. And my idea is to help my clients to make the most of their time, energy, and money so they can create their own blueprint of an abundant life. And ultimately, each client is different. Each person's wishes and goals are going to be unique to them. So often it's a combination of some of these things rather than just purely one or the other. If you were thinking about personal finance coaching in particular, these are some of the elements that would be covered in that. Understanding your money story is going to be a key part of that. Then you getting really clear on what it is you want in terms of your financial goals, what you need to do to lay a strong financial foundation, and then to create a plan to build on top of that foundation so you can actually create your abundant life. And if you found what we've talked about has been interesting, helpful, useful, you're welcome to go on my website and have a little look. There's some quite fun stuff in there. There's blogs and some useful resources in there. And if after all of that you think, well, I could really do some help actually making a plan, because sometimes even making that plan can be tricky, it can be overwhelming. So having somebody there as your, objective guide, who's not in any way emotionally connected with you, who can create a safe, space for you to do that can be really helpful. And I can provide that space for you. And then, of course, to take action and stay accountable can be also difficult if you're doing it just by yourself. So, those are a couple of things that I can help you with. But as I said, this session was really there to help you become more aware of what you're anxious about and what to do about